my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates, a firm that's a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. What do you do if you have an ex trying to take the baby and leave town? So let's say you're not married, so you don't have the benefit of a custody order. You break up, and all of a sudden you get a call from Jimmy, and he's leaving town. He wants to take the kid with him. What are the rights of the parties? Well, the good news is that if it was a marriage, there's a presumption that both parties have a right to come before the court and seek custody in their joint environment. This is a non-marital union in our example. In a non-marital union, the presumption is that mom's got the custody rights. If dad wants those rights, he's got to go into court and get them. They're not thrust upon him. He has to achieve them. Because he has to achieve them, if he calls you up and says, I'm taking the kid and I want to go and I'm leaving town and I want the kid, your answer is, well, I'm sorry, you're not getting the kid, and I'll see you in court. That's your answer. And if he gets aggressive, violent, threatening, you call the police. And then you call your attorney and you get a court order that gives you temporary custody until further order of the court. Now the court will give you temporary custody and conduct a hearing to determine whether or not you should have full custody and flush out those rights. But I want to tell you one thing. A lot of people feel in that scenario, their knee-jerk reaction is to flee. In other words, he's come to get the kid. You're living in Michigan. He says, I'm going to get the kid, take him to Florida. So you grab the kid first and you run to Georgia. You run to your in-laws. They live in Iowa. You go wherever. I don't know. The reaction sometimes is to cut and run. Cut and run is not a good reaction to have in this scenario because leaving town may remove you from the problem at that moment, but it doesn't remove you from the overall problem. The overall problem is you're not vested with the court order protecting you from him showing up and taking your kid. Now, if he were to show up with the police and say, I'm the father and she's running away with my kid, one of a couple things might happen. The police might say, sorry, this is a civil matter. You've got to get a court order. There's nothing we can do. Or the police may say, ma'am, is that his kid? Yeah, it is. Why are you running town without him? You got to give him that kid for a certain amount of time. The police shouldn't, but sometimes they play judge and jury and they do that. So which is it going to be in your scenario? The answer is you don't know. So the protection is you get a court order. So when they come and say, ma'am, is that your kid? You say, yes, that is my kid. And look, I have a court order. And this court order says that I have custody until further order of the court. When you do that, you create a scenario where the police have the right to say, look, we'd love to help you out, but she's got a court order, and that court order says this child is to be with her. Therefore, what you need to do is hire a lawyer, move to set that order aside, get an order of your own, do something, but at this moment, we have to protect her because we have to enforce that order. And that's what you've got to do. Now, if you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.